Bournemouth to Manchester United to overall it looks like a really decent performance. There were some nice attacks, some nice patterns of playing. And you just have to give it to the team for that. Overall it was a decent performance. But then you have to ask, how long are the referees going to keep doing this? I don't know how you see a blatant penalty and then you choose not to give it. It was so conspicuous that you saw it, you were literally there where it happened, and then for some reason you failed to give it, and then 25 seconds later they scored. They scored. It's so frustrating. You just have to give it to the lads anyways. We got a red card at 78 minutes, and since then we had to just sit back and defend. Considering our history with matches where we had red cards, you usually know how it ends for us. So this wasn't the case. So it's something to be a bit happy about. You know what? Let's dive into it. Let's rate some of these guys. We had some very nice individual performances, and I'd just like to call them out. So for Diogo Dalot, I'm going to give him a 4. Yeah, that's being generous. And then for Luke Shaw, I'll give him a 5. Lenny Euro, I didn't really see him much when we had possession, or I saw a lot of defensive actions from him. So that being said, I'm going to give him a 6. I'm going to give him a 6. Harry Maguire, I'll give him a 6 also. And then Kobe Minu, I think he did well. I loved some plays that I saw from him. Some short, quick passes to, always relieve the team of pressure. And then one thing that I always notice is whenever he makes those passes, just somehow we are always, on the attacking front. So for that, I'm going to give Kobe Minu a 7. I'm going to give him a 7. And then Casemiro tried his best. He tried his best. So let's just give him a 6. For Bruno, he actually had a very nice game. Almost throughout the game, you could see him dictating plays, trying to create chances from open plays. So you just have to give it to him. I'm going to give him like a solid 8, actually. He also scored a goal. Ahmad, it was a decent performance from him. He has 4 goals and assists this season. That's a terrible start for a winger, if you ask me. Especially for someone that gets into really good positions. I think he really has to work on it. Both his finishing and then his decision making in the final third. But if you can improve on that, I think we're going to have a class player on our hands. But at the same time, let's not forget he's 24, so he doesn't have all the time in the world. I mean, by now he should be, confident in doing some things. You don't think twice before making some decisions, I believe. So, considering that you have 0 goals or assists this year, 2026, and we're in March, is actually very, very bad for an attacker. I still love some of his wing plays regardless. So yeah, a solid 6 for him. And then for Kunha was actually brilliant yesterday. Won a penalty. So I'm going to be giving him a solid 7. And then for Umbuemo, it has to be a 5. Not because he's a bad player, but it wasn't really his day. And like I said, I wouldn't really blame him for it. He's playing off his position. The fact that he can play there doesn't mean he needs to be playing there all the time. It's one thing that I still try to wrap my head around with Carrick. You don't have to be playing in there all game. Overall, very decent performance, and we hope to have Lisandro Martinez and Dogu back for our next Premier League game. So yeah, 24 out of 30 points, actually very nice, and we just have to keep the momentum going. The fact that we didn't lost was a good one, so we just have to keep it going. More games to go. Leeds next. So thank you all for watching.